I'm in her BigTruDat. This is like doing podcast, man.
First your bitch nice as hell and she freaky. BB a diamond match with this chrome. He left the spot and he didn't go home. My robbers they ride on that to the mall.
Shout out to B.O., man.
I'm missing from her, we kick shit on phone. I ain't never sleeping when it's beefing. Duke leave you licking for no reason. Man, I'm going thirsty, leave you squeaking. I pull over 100 rounds at the precinct. They treat me like a king in here. I ain't gotta do a thing in here. Go on and let me swing in here. Police don't say nothing about my thing in here. Nigga try to take me here. It be a murder scene in here. They treat me like a king in here. I ain't gotta do a thing in here. Go on and let me swing in here.
Please hit that like button coming in. Fuck what it do.
Nigga try to take me here. It be a murder scene in here. Yeah, I'm fresh up out of jail. Try to squeeze on me, I never tell. I ain't never finished school, got expelled.
Right way.
Try to squeeze on the senior ass to hell. I'm military on the mail. It might be on key, you in my prayer. Plus I got this helmet and I nail. Come and flush your order like mail.
What's going on with you, bro? How you doing, though, bro? Definitely appreciate you tuning in.
You would never see me, you like Stevie. Just wait till the summer when things get heated. And we ride down your block, but we not speeding.
Right, real.
They treat me like a king in here. I ain't gotta do a thing in here. Go on and let me swing in here. Police don't say nothing about my thing in here. Nigga try to take me here. It be a murder scene in here. They treat me like a king in here. I ain't gotta do a thing in here. Go on and let me swing in here. Police don't say nothing about my thing in here. Nigga try to take me here. It be a murder scene in here.
What it do? What it do? In the cut, like a motherfucking band-aid. I'm cooking, family. You already know. Oh, fucking with you, Lord. Shit, yeah. Man, what we doing, man? You got motherfucking, hold on. You got Rodway. Who done fucked up how I feel, man, in a major way. 14, everything I'm saying for entertainment purpose, allegedly, man. 14 charges. 14 motherfucking charges, man. All these women out here, man. I guess it's time for women to go back to a more of a traditional thug. You know what I'm saying? Because when them niggas sing, it seems like they on a whole lot more bullshit when they humming and singing. Shit, how you doing, me muffin? Y'all let that be a note. These niggas that sing, they dead damn serious when it comes to they love. 14 times. Broadway was definitely trying to catch a body. Damn, I got my necklace on. Backwards. I did that, didn't I? Broadway was definitely trying to catch a body. We finna go into a little reaction, get a little commentary on it, and it's definitely a bad look. Probably gonna be some more footage gonna come out, some more this and some more that. But if you ask me, I feel like he might have fucked his career off. You know what I'm saying? He might have fucked his career off. I'm pretty sure it was some footage of the incident, and It was said to happen after a argument, an altercation, and just seeing how them goddamn bullet holes in that G wagon. You know, it's probably gonna be hard. You heard about Chris Brown, folks? They say he might be going to prison. No, I ain't heard about that. Man, I can't wait to get my motherfucking Cuban fix. I ain't heard about that. But we can always tap into it. Let me see. How y'all feel about this? Let me see. Hold on. We gonna get into Chris Brown too. Let me see what Rod Wave got going on, man. I'm gonna read out some of Rod Wave charges. I'm not gonna read them all, but CB. Arrested after he shoots up. We gonna go to
10mm pistol from under his left arm, and he walks
gonna
up
go
to
to
the
all
garage
urban
courtyard
central,
and
man.
opens fire at her G-Wagon, firing 14 rounds in total, emptying the pistol magazine. Her G-Wagon was struck.
You trying to gun some down?
Welcome to Districts, your trusted automotive service provider. These are the hands that will change your oil. These are the hands that will
That's
check
what
your
I'm
light.
making it.
These are the hands that will check your
11 times. So after this happened,
run it back.
look, man, I don't know if it's something in the water, but it seems just like every week a rapper is getting arrested. Rod Wave was just arrested after shooting his girlfriend's G-Wagon up 14 times after arguing. Like, what? So word
What
on
was
the
they
street
arguing
said
about?
in 2021 hours, Rod Waves and his girlfriend and one of Rod Waves' associates were observed walking out of the residence. It appeared that him and her got into a verbal argument, and it appeared that she started yelling at him. Then he pulled out a Glock 20 10mm
Man,
pistol
I can't
from
wait for
under
this
his
new
left
album.
arm, and he walks up to the garage courtyard and opens fire at her G-Wagon, firing 14 rounds in total, emptying the pistol magazine. Her G-Wagon was struck 11 times. So after this happened, police was called down, and then he was arrested. Look at all the charges bro got. First of all, I was shocked when they said he 5'8", 300 pounds. Bro, you gotta get to the gym. That's diabolical, my boy. But his charges are aggravated assault, possession of a firearm or a knife, attempt to commit certain felonies, pointing or aiming a gun at somebody, reckless conduct, criminal damage to property, second degree, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, tampering with evidence, possession of a firearm or during a commission to commit a felony, simple assault, reckless conduct, criminal damage to property. Man, he got a lot of stuff.
He got a lot of charges.
Look at his mugshot. Whew. I see why he be having a federal nightmare. But the good news was, right after he was arrested, he was released on $50,000 bonds. So now he's free. It's actually a shame that Rod Wave crashed out on his now girlfriend, because just last year he had that same type of troubles with his baby mama.
So
he caught her cheating on her, then she came out and said she don't care about him, and then he ended up making a couple of diss songs, but it got real spicy. Take a look at this video.
One time, G, like, yes, it's crazy to me, and then you call me and you instantly yelling about it. And if you don't know that I don't give about not walking this earth, bro, I'm not gonna come out here and then be laid up with I got an Airbnb through a half often that does the Airbnb you talk about. But I'm in this bitch by myself on my brother with her. Been in this bitch all day by myself with her. You have no to call them up.
So yeah, that was a video of Rod Wave confronting
they
her.
gotta get their shit together,
because,
man. They definitely gotta get that shit together. Ain't it a good look for Rod Wave, man? Y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about it. Rod Wave have been charged with 14 different charges. They say he been released on $50,000 worth of bond. Maybe he can. I don't know if he can get her to drop charges. I don't know how they work if he can get her to drop charges, but seeing as though they might have it on video, Chris Brown released from UK jail and got on bail.
Grammy-winning singer Chris
Let's see what happened.
Grammy-winning singer Chris Brown's upcoming tour now thrown into question as a British judge has just ordered him held in custody while facing allegations that he beat a music producer with a bottle in a London nightclub in 2023. The 36-year-old appeared in Manchester court to face one count of causing grievous bodily harm and was held until his next hearing, June 13th, in London. That's the same day that he's due to take the stage over in Germany on the third date of his world tour.
He was on tour.
The judge rejecting Brown's bail request after the prosecutor said the crime was, quote, extremely serious. Brown was on tour in the UK in February 2023 when he launched an unprovoked attack on that producer, striking him several times with a bottle at the Tape nightclub in the swanky Mayfair neighborhood that's over in London, according to officials there. Brown then apparently chased that producer and punched and kicked him in an attack caught on surveillance camera in front of a club full of people. Again, this is according to prosecutors and other officials in that area. Defense attorney Grace Forbes arguing that the American performer was not a flight risk and should be released. Brown was flanked by court officers in the dock. His hair was...
Oh, damn, that's how they caught him.
At Harbor Freight, we're committed to ensuring our tools are expertly engineered and built to last.
Grammy-winning singer Chris...
Let me see how they caught him. Hold on.
His representative did not immediately respond to any request for comment from the Associated State and said that his address was a local hotel where he was arrested early Thursday and taken into custody. His case was transferred to the Southwark Crown Court that is over in London, where he's expected to enter a plea to that charge. Brown's representative did not immediately respond to any request for comment from the Associated Press, and Brown, often called by his nickname of Breezy, burst onto the music scene as a teen back 20 years ago in 2005 and has become a major hitmaker. The singer is due to launch an international tour.
I don't really know where it happened. On $6.7 million bail.
Time now for our vibe check, a run through and recap of the week's buzziest stories in entertainment and pop culture. And of course, we have our ABC News contributor Roxy Diaz here with me to talk more about that because you're the expert. What are you watching? I think a lot of people are watching very closely what
today. And his first post said,
London court says you can be out on bail, heavy bail, right? $6.7 million, but still.
No, but he's out. He was able to get his bail today, and his first post said, from the cage to the stage, which means the tour is still on. And yes, a lot of people are paying attention to this because these are sold out shows that we're talking about, so there's a lot of money on the line. Me knowing CB the way I do, I'm going to say his spirits are up with just that post.
Sure.
But we know that this all stems from an incident that happened in a nightclub in London in 2023 where
it's a good thing that he out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happened in 2023. I think once he come out tour, he need to take his ass home and don't go back over there. You know what I'm saying? Before I get out here, I want to jump into the Diddy. You know, did he do it? They said Usher took the stand. So let me see. I heard that Usher took the stand, man. Usher, you know, they said Usher got a videotape. This is what I was told. That nigga Breezy got to chill, folks. Two families to be crashed out. Nothing but a money game.
Sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Why were singers Usher and Neo brought up in the courtroom? We're diving into the connection these A-listers music legends have to the now disgraced music mogul, and what the night in question that a witness claims they were in attendance for means to how this trial.
So they ain't took the stand. Yeah, Usher break down in tears in court. He already took the stand. I was just 14, man. Let's see what's going on, man. Yeah, nah, these folks funny as hell. Let's see what's going on.
Before we begin, viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Strongly
The following
advised.
is for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Only.
This is the verbatim federal courtroom testimony
Verbatim.
of the Sean Diddy Combs trial,
Word for word.
as reported by Inner City Press. The courtroom was dead silent as the judge called the next witness. All eyes turned toward the back as a familiar face stepped forward.
I thought Usher. I'm trying to see Usher.
Album and eager to rise in the ranks of the music industry. L.A. Reid had arranged the mentorship with the belief that being around Diddy would fast-track Usher's success.
Okay.
What none of them expected was the kind of world Usher would be walking into. I thought I was going to learn how to be a star, Usher told the court, his voice steady but tight.
From what I heard, though, when I went back to the neighborhood today, that's who told me that Usher took the stand, and he was like, "Man, it's over." He said it's over with. He said Usher testifying on the stand was worse than Cassie.
What I saw instead were things no teenager should be around. Usher testified that from the moment he entered Diddy's Midtown Manhattan penthouse, the environment was saturated in excess. Champagne on breakfast trays, strangers waking up in rooms he didn't know existed, people he later recognized from TV and magazines lounging half-dressed or passed out.
I'm hearing folks were waking up with they behind sore. This is what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but they said it was all type of people waking up. Have y'all heard that news? That it was all type of people waking up and don't remember what happened, but they were having sore behinds, men and women. Is that true? Is that said to be true?
It wasn't a home. It was a scene. He called it the flavor camp, Usher said. I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was just branding. Later, I realized it meant indulgence. The court listened intently as Usher described how the mentorship quickly turned into something else.
Damn, Usher,
Diddy wasn't teaching him about
Diddy.
vocals or performance. Instead, Usher claimed he was encouraged to observe the lifestyle, to party with celebrities, and to stop asking questions. He told me, "This is how we do it. You don't ask, you just watch. Learn by watching. That's how grown men roll." He recalled one night when he woke up around 3 a.m. to find people in masks entering the apartment. Music was playing low and candles lit the hallway. He walked into the living room and saw what he could only describe as a ritualistic party. It wasn't just sex. There was structure
Goddamn
to it.
rituals.
Cameras, lists, and no one looked surprised. I thought maybe I had walked into a movie set. I remember thinking, I shouldn't be seeing this. Usher said he was told to go back to bed, but he didn't sleep that night. That was the moment, he said, that changed how he saw Diddy forever. The next part of Usher's testimony centered around the warnings he never received. Not from his record label, not from his mother, not from industry insiders who all knew what Diddy's world really looked like. People thought Diddy was eccentric, Usher explained. They didn't realize he had power over people in a way that was quiet, but absolute. If he didn't like you, your career stalled. If he liked you, your silence was part of the deal. Usher told the jury that there were others like him. Young artists brought into the fold, promised a fast track to fame, but slowly pulled into Diddy's orbit in ways they couldn't understand.
You see that the
at
video
time.
of him singing
He
happy
named
birthday
no
to
names
himself
yet,
and the
but
man
hinted
screaming
that
in the
more would come
background.
forward.
No, I ain't see
There were
it.
people around us who saw assistants,
This shit
drivers,
wild,
other
man.
musicians.
And the fact
Everybody
that people
acted
be
like-
having tapes and videos and shit and be holding on to this shit for so long, for so many years. Man, I don't keep messages in my phone like that. My shit on auto delete. My messages on auto delete. I'm not trying to go back and show no motherfucker nothing from 15 years ago, from a year ago. People who do that shit, to me, anybody who be doing shit like that messy, and you really gotta watch them. Any motherfucker that wanna go back and show you some shit from 6 months ago, why you still got this in your phone? You know what I'm saying? Why is you harboring this shit in your phone? Why you finna scroll down this motherfucking long from 6 months ago, from a year ago, to show me something? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck does that?
Like it was normal, but deep down, they knew. The adults
I'm trying
failed
to
us.
prove motherfucker. Man.
One particularly disturbing moment in his testimony came when he described a private trip to the Caribbean Diddy took him on when he was 15. It was supposed to be a retreat, just me, him, and a couple others. The place was isolated, no press, no cameras, and that's where I realized I wasn't there to learn anything about music. He paused. I won't go into everything, but what I will say is that I wasn't given a choice about the environment I was placed in, and it took me years to understand the manipulation. The courtroom was silent. Usher said that after the trip, his relationship with Diddy changed. The mogul became more controlling. There were always new people around, always more parties, always more rules. And every time Usher pushed back, even slightly, he was reminded who made his career. He told me, "You don't bite the hand that feeds you. Remember who gave you this life." Usher ended the segment by looking directly at Diddy. "You didn't give me this life. You gave me nightmares." Usher's third portion of testimony was perhaps the most stunning. He described being presented with a contract at the age of 16 that included a confidentiality clause. Though it was under the guise of a standard non-disclosure agreement to protect Bad Boy Records' internal dealings, Usher claimed it included specific language about private events and discretion. At the time, I didn't even know what half the words meant, Usher told the court. My mother had to co-sign, and the label's lawyers said it was standard. But now, looking back, I know what it was. A contract to keep me quiet. He said he signed it because he trusted them. That signature bought my silence for years. I wasn't allowed to speak about parties, guests, behaviors. I was told it would ruin the brand. But what about what it did to me? Usher said that clause was invoked years later, when he attempted to speak out about some of the things he had seen. In 2009, I was working on an interview with a major publication. The question
is this the nail in the coffin? Is us the testimony the nail in the coffin, or was Diddy already done?
They reminded me of my NDA. They said,
he's 46.
"We hope you're not trying to jeopardize your reputation."
So
he said he never went through with the interview.
Do y'all think Usher should be testifying?
Usher claimed he received veiled threats from people still tied to Diddy's empire, people he hadn't spoken to.
What's the reason behind Usher testifying?
Done with that world, but it's never done with you. And if you step out of line, there are consequences, not just to your career, but to your safety. The courtroom sat frozen as Usher pulled out a copy of the NDA. The judge allowed it as evidence. It included language about audio-visual documentation and unauthorized reproduction, phrases that now took on a sinister tone in the light of Diddy's alleged freak-off video library. Usher's voice cracked slightly. That document made me feel like I was crazy for years. Like everything I saw, everything I felt, wasn't real because I wasn't allowed to say it out loud. Usher's voice wavered as he described a lesser-known moment from 1996 when he was just 17 years old and Diddy took him to an exclusive mansion party in Atlanta.
I'm trying to see. If the shit wasn't happening to me, and I was just around it. Okay, I was around it. So maybe some things happened to him. This is what I'm hearing, or kind of coming to the realization. Some things happened to him. But if it's just some shit I seen, and early on in my career, if it's just some shit I seen, I really wouldn't give a fuck about talking about it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it didn't, I don't know. It's different stroke for different folk, I guess.
It was a pivotal moment that would reshape how he
Usher
viewed the man
and
who once
Bogus
saw
folk, he
as a
let
mentor.
him do it, and now
According
you
to
want to
Usher,
tell on the
Diddy was in
stand to
full party host mode, with a house filled with
they trying to
celebrities,
bring out,
models, and mysterious men who didn't seem
Yeah, I don't
connected to
really-
the music industry at all.
I
Usher
don't
said
know
he
about
wasn't
that one. I
expecting
don't
what
know.
he saw next.
I
The
don't
house
know.
was lavish.
If I was
Marble
Usher, I
floors,
probably would have kept it to
security at every
myself.
door, a DJ spinning until sunrise.
Diddy must owe him
But
50
what stood
million.
out wasn't the luxury. It was the secret room. Usher told the courtroom he remembered Diddy whispering to one of the security guards who opened a locked door at the back of the mansion. "You're not ready for that yet," Diddy said to him with a grin. Usher said he peeked in anyway. "There were people in masks. That's all I'll say. I didn't know what I was looking
He
at."
peeked in
Then
anyway.
he said something that made everyone in the courtroom shift. "I think that night changed me," Usher confessed.
He said, "That's
"I
right."
saw things I still can't explain. I don't know if it was legal, but I know it wasn't right." He then held up photocopied pages from a journal. Usher explained he had started writing the journal in 1998, originally to document song lyrics and thoughts. But as the years passed, it became a vault of personal memories and observations from his time around Diddy. In one entry dated March 1999, Usher wrote, "Had dinner with Diddy and 3 execs I didn't know. They kept talking about loyalty.
He wrote this.
Said loyalty keeps you on tour. Honesty puts you back home." Diddy laughed. Another passage dated October 2000 described a Thursday night where Usher was allegedly
They
invited
cold,
but
man.
declined.
They cold.
Too many secrets.
Yeah,
Too many
see, all
masks.
this shit is
Diddy
the
says
confession
it's just
song.
the culture.
Right.
I don't agree.
They cold.
Did you ever tell anyone about these entries?
They cold. You see what I'm
Prosecutor
saying? Niggas sit up and do all that
Usher
singing.
shook his
You right,
head.
folks.
I was afraid of losing
Man, niggas sit
everything.
up and do all
I
that
didn't think anyone-
motherfucking singing and talk about talking about how she keeping it and all that old shit. And here you go, he wait 30 goddamn years. You know what I'm talking about? Like he really scorned. That's why I said
Would
he might have
believe
been
me.
owed 50 million.
When asked why he was sharing it now, Usher replied,
Okay.
"Because I've lived with it long enough, and it's time the truth comes out." Usher leaned into the microphone
Should put that
and
shit in the
revealed an
song, like
encounter
I
he said
said.
he hadn't even told his closest friends. In 1997, at age 18, he was invited by Diddy to meet a powerful music investor in Miami.
Powerful.
Someone who could fund Usher's first world tour and help him build his brand. "I thought it was about business," Usher explained. "Diddy hyped it up like it was the biggest break of my life. He told me to dress up, look sharp, and be polite." When Usher arrived at the penthouse suite at the Setai Hotel,
So let me ask you
he
this.
found 3 men lounging.
Miss Muffin, let me ask you this. Can you go back? Okay, Usher 46. Have Usher and Diddy been around each other since Usher been 26, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Has he been around in any of those years? I just want to know.
in robes with
Just wanna
high-end
know.
champagne, and several young women sitting quietly in the background. One of them, he said he was from overseas, asked me if I wanted to be remembered forever, Usher said.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't talking about music.
Okay.
Usher said Diddy left him alone with the men. I felt trapped, he testified.
He wasn't talking
They
about
didn't
music.
touch me. But one of them put his hand on my shoulder and said, "You can stay,
They didn't
or you
touch
can
me.
leave. But you'll never get another invitation like this again." He left. And that's when things started to change. Usher said he was removed from one tour opportunity, and a prominent producer suddenly pulled out of working with him.
Prominent.
No one ever said it was because I left that sweet.
So I wonder why, if you exposing Diddy, why not expose all the other motherfuckers though? You see what I'm saying? Why not expose the white man who was there, the other black man? You know, it's only right. It's only right. It's only right. It's only right. Talk about them motherfuckers too, man. Put them out there.
Usher explained. But after that night, doors that had always been open suddenly shut. Usher also testified that Diddy showed him a disturbing clip from a handheld camera a few weeks later. He laughed as he played it back. It was of another young artist. He was doing something I know he wouldn't have agreed to unless someone made him. "Did Diddy threaten you?" the attorney asked. Usher paused. He didn't have to. The people around him did. They didn't use words. They used silence and exile. Usher said this was the moment
Usher
he
took the
realized fame
stand.
was no
Yeah, he
longer
took
about
the
talent.
stand.
It was
This
about
what he's
submission.
saying on the stand right
That's
here.
how you stayed famous in Diddy's world. Usher's tone turned personal as the courtroom lights dimmed slightly, with cameras now focused solely on his face. "This is the hardest part," he said, "because it's not about me anymore." He went on to describe the early days of Justin Bieber's rise. Usher had been instrumental in
I
launching
don't
the
know
pop
if he's
star's career,
real. I
co-signing
don't see his
him
name
and
on
serving as his
crime
mentor.
testify. Say his
At the
name to
beginning,
testify.
it was all positive. "I wanted to be the big brother I never
Well, somebody
had."
told me
Usher
earlier
said.
he testified,
Then
right?
Diddy entered the picture. According to Usher, Diddy began inviting Bieber to parties, calling it Flavor Camp, the same phrase he used with Usher years earlier. He was 15, Usher said, and they were treating him
So you think
like
this
a
man
grown
just made all this shit up right
One
here?
night in
He
2011,
got all this
Usher
AI.
got a call from Bieber. He didn't say anything at first. "I just heard breathing." Then he said, "I want to come home." Usher's team attempted to track him down, but Bieber went silent for 2 days. When they met again, Bieber wouldn't look Usher in the eye. He just said, "It's fine. I'm good now." But he wasn't, Usher testified. He then revealed that he'd confronted Diddy privately and asked him directly, "What are you doing to these kids?" According to Usher, Diddy chuckled and replied, "Same thing they did to me.
Let me
It's
go
how the
back.
game works."
Let me go back.
Usher said that was
Let me go back. Let me. So everybody just running with the same line. He the one that took him to Diddy.
As a
If
result
it's
of being
real.
around that man.
So you mean tell me all this shit is just, it started when I was 14. Man, I don't know what's real no more. Yeah, that's all it did. It took you to get in the damn comments and say what you said, and now I'm questioning everything. You know, I don't know what's real no
It
more.
was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
saying?
went there to see the
Hood
lifestyle.
TV.
Right. And
Okay, let's see what he's saying right now.
I wasn't born into politics.
it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
saying?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Everybody been keeping one eye on Diddy's trial, but what nobody saw coming was Usher stepping out of the shadows and finally speaking on what really went down. And this ain't just some mild clapback or slick industry shade. According to sources, Usher came with recordings that might prove Diddy's guilty of way more than folks even imagined. And get this, Diddy really put Usher in the hospital after using his back door like there was no tomorrow. But before we dive in deep, let's be real clear. Everything you're about to hear comes from reports, testimonies, and internet speculations. So if this flips your whole perspective, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just laying out what's already been put out there. Word is, Usher had been silenced for years with NDAs, payouts, and straight up threats. But now, he's done playing nice. Allegedly, he's been keeping receipts, phone convos, private footage, even voice memos from as far back as 2004. That's 2 decades of dirt, and Usher's finally ready to take the gloves off. And as Diddy trial starts and more celebs are called to testify, it wouldn't be surprising if Usher exposes everything. You see, Usher was probably the first to experience everything, even before Cassie. And according to people close to the source, this ain't about revenge, it's survival. Usher was used as a teen, moved into Diddy's house at just 14, and saw firsthand the twisted parties, the camera setups, the private auditions. He was a witness and a victim. And now, pretend.
Let me go online crying. Sound like somebody that watch the news and shit. Somebody that watch the news. Lord. Diddy on trial, baby on secret. Ooh. Tons of P. Diddy tour. Shit, funny. You might be right. You might be right. But then you might be wrong.
Day 8 of Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking trial delivered some more explosive testimony. His former executive assistant,
I don't think, just going back,
took the stand, alleging he...
Just check it out.
Day 8 of Sean...
I don't think I would want my picture for my walk on, my star on Hollywood. I don't think that'll be my picture anyway, though, you know? Or do everybody take their picture like that? Everybody lay on the ground and shit?
Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking trial delivered some more
Man
explosive
said he
testimony.
used that
His former
motherfucker like
executive
no
assistant
tomorrow.
took the stand, alleging he took drugs
Right.
from Combs,
Like
said
no
that Combs
tomorrow.
with supplies endured
This shit
constant
that got
threats, and we found
bizarre.
out what
You
federal
mean?
authorities found in Diddy's mansion.
Nice
We've got
ass
all
mansion.
the
Nice
explosive
villa.
details from inside the courtroom. We're going to be talking with Law and Crimes reporter
Shit,
Elizabeth
bizarre,
Miller
man.
to break it all down. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Everybody, this is another law and crime legal alert. If you receive Deborah Prevail,
It'd be a damn shame. It'd be funny. Not a shame. It'd be spot on if Usher really did take the stand. Did he just say everything that they said that Usher supposedly said already? If that makes sense.
shots and were later diagnosed with a...
If he didn't say it, they saying that's what he gonna say. They know they got mind control over
Morgan
Usher.
& Morgan is investigating claims that patients weren't properly warned about this risk. It's free to check, takes a few minutes. You don't pay unless they win. So scan the QR code on screen, click the link below.
So I went and checked on my folks today, right? You know, I got the little short of the old head nigga. Everything I'm saying is for entertainment purposes, alleged. But the old head is supposed to shot my big cousin. So I went over there today, and as I'm over there, my big cousin, his big brother talking to me. He's like, "You ain't been to the spot?" I was like, "Nah, I ain't been to it yet." So he took me to the spot where my big cousin died. It collapsed it and shit. So you can still see like the ground, the soil up under him. So, you know, he broke down for a second, you know, chopped it up. So then the news pop up, and they chop it up with him for a second. They want to really get him on camera and do all that old shit. So the ladies that y'all hear in the background, they still over there. My aunties, they still over there. So I go back. I go in the house. There go my auntie. You can't really hear her on that joint. If you go back and listen, she the one saying black. She saying black. You just hear her saying black. She probably called him a black ass nigga or some shit like that though. So I'm in the house. My auntie here she go. And you need to stop smoking. I can smell it on you. Ooh, I'm like, auntie. I said, nah, it's in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's in my pocket, auntie. So then my other auntie like, you need to leave him alone. No, he need to stop. He need to stop. Auntie, I ain't finna stop smoking. You know, matter of fact, I'm finna go out here on the front porch. I'm finna leave you guys in here. And I'm finna go out here on this front porch because I'm finna smoke one in the name of God. So, yeah, we just chopping it up. And my big cousin gonna tell me, you know, he been fucking with the podcast, right? I feel like I done brought this nigga up. I feel like I done brought this shit up before. Like y'all, they're different from South. Maybe y'all know I done talked about Trig, and I done talked about TTO before. He like, cuz, I'm waiting on you to bring this shit, you know what I'm saying, back to the area. You done went to Latham, you done went to Florida, you done went here, you done went to Orleans, and this and that. Man, you ain't talked about Trig, Posse, not now, goddamn time. I said, cuz I feel like I had talked about Trig, you know what I'm saying? Especially TTO, you know what I'm saying? But he wanted me to give a shout out to Trig motherfucking Posse, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Trig Posse. Some of them dudes that were, I remember when I used to be around, the Big Noses, the Scooters, the Jakes, you know what I'm saying? The Walters and you know, the Randy Porterfields, and you know, I remember all them niggas. Them the niggas I done talked about Randy before. You know, walking the streets with his two Rockwilders, Shaq and Medusa, and used to have the shotgun in the trench coat and shit like this. So because I ain't talking about Trig Posse. DT, shout out to my cousin DT right there, trailer. You know, if you was around back in the day, around the 90s, he had one of the cleanest. This what made me start liking box Chevys, like real shit. Because had a burgundy box Chevy with the gold flakes, with the gold spokes, with the gold grill, with the gold door handles. You know what I'm saying? With the gold trimming, it was just, that bitch was nasty. Then he had a white one, pearl white. That's what he called it. It was pearl white. I think it had like some type of little flakes in it with the chrome spokes on. This was the chrome, boy. Then he had a peach Cadillac with like a maroon top. Like he was nasty back in the 90s. I remember that shit coming up. He was nasty back in the 90s. So he wanted me to, you know, give a shout out to him. He felt like I ain't bringing back the Trig, but I'm like, cool, you know, Cambridge Street now. But, you know, shout out to Trig Posse, though, man.
Or head over to forthepeople.com/LCDepot to see if you qualify. The federal sex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs took yet even more explosive turns today. Day 8, as his former executive assistant George Kaplan took the stand, revealing some stunning details about alleged drug pickups, secret hotel room setups, more alleged threats to employees.
Let me ask y'all this. How many of y'all seen the movie Sinners? Give me your honest opinion on the movie Sinners. Rated 1 through 10. Sinners. What's your opinion on Sinners?
None other than rapper Kid Cudi. He's had quite the past with Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura, allegations of arson, right? Talking about a blown-up car. But first, Cap. So the last witness to stand today's testimony painted a picture of Combs as this demanding boss who allegedly used his assistant to procure.
What about Final Destination?
Hotel rooms with supplies, even repeatedly threatened his job. We're going to get into all that. We're going to get into a
You
lot
finna go
more.
to the
But
movies or you
I'm gonna
finna
do
watch it at the
I'm going to
crib?
bring on right now Long Crimes reporter Elizabeth Milner, who's been inside that courtroom in the Southern District of New York for every second of the testimony, including for today. Elizabeth, great to see you. So I want to start off with what's perhaps the most shocking.
At the crib, okay,
You have
okay.
Diddy's former assistant, that is George
When you get through
Kaplan,
watching it, man, jump in the post, let me know what you think of that
testified
joint.
he actually picked up drugs for Diddy.
If
Can
you
tell us
seen
what
the movie
exactly he
Sinners,
said
jump
about
in the
that?
comment
Because again,
section
this
and
is
let me
important
know
for the
your
racketeering
what's your
charge. If
opinion
we're
of
talking
it.
about Combs operating a criminal enterprise and he was using his assistants and his bodyguards to further criminal activity or provide supplies for criminal activity and cover it up. These are the people you want to hear about. So what exactly did he say about picking up drugs for Diddy?
Well, absolutely, Jesse. And you know what? I'm just going to kind of tell you and
I
take it
feel like
a little bit
my
back
opinion
just
on
2 hours earlier,
it
just
was
because
cool.
outside
It was
of the
cool.
presence of the jury, so right while Dr. Hughes was testifying, they were
It was
dismissed for
cool.
lunch. Then we had this moment again outside of the presence of the jury where we were first introduced to George Kaplan, us in the gallery, us in the press. Obviously, the prosecution and both the defense were, we see George Kaplan taking the stand and we're like, okay, what's about to happen? Well, let me just tell you, Jesse, he invoked his Fifth Amendment right of self-incrimination outside of the presence of the jury, and in exchange for that, he was actually given a court-ordered immunity deal, which is why maybe he's being so forthcoming about just all the everything that he had to do as far as responsibility goes while he was on the job and under the employment of Diddy for that 2-year time period. And so whenever he got on the stand again, George Kaplan, for the most part, he is kind of medium built, a little stocky. And when
This shit don't look good for Diddy though,
taking the
man.
stand
You know,
outside of the presence
I
of the
feel
jury,
like
I saw him and did.
I don't know. You know, I'm gonna say this. Depending on, you know, if that Usher shit was real or not. You know, the fact, I'm gonna say, I ain't gonna say it don't look good. It don't look good because a nigga at the end of the day, nigga ain't quit. He quit. So it ain't gonna be good for business regardless. You know, it ain't gonna be good for business regardless. It ain't gonna be good for his face card regardless. You know, if he is, you know, out. Just a lot of the shit, you know, but I don't think it is a RICO case once again. I think they made it a RICO case just so, you know, his money wouldn't buy the case. You know, in the beginning, he offered $50 million. So they made it a RICO case. So, you know, this one of them cases that, you know, we ain't gonna let your money get you up out this motherfucker. You know, we gonna really, he already done gave 30 to her. They were trying to get up 50, that been 80 million before he even, you know, that's 80 million just to get this shit going. Then you gotta have lawyer fees. That's another. If he done offer 50 million for bond money, 30 million to sit your ass down money. And I know he probably just off the muscle done gave his lawyers done started off about 10. So, you know, let's just say already this year one, a man damn near 100 million in, and business hurt, business taking a hit. This will be one of them cases that will really financially drain you. This will be one of them cases, unless you know you got to be a couple bill. You need to be a couple billies in for a case like this, and you're gonna end up sitting down too. Man, shit. Did he do it? I fucked around and hit the mute button. My bad. I said, I was just saying that Diddy. Ain't no telling how this shit gon' really go. You know, it ain't no Rico. It just showing that, you know, bro, into some shit. He like to partake in some things. More so than anything, it's embarrassment. You know, don't nobody want to smoke no cigar with you no more. Nah, that's your bar to hold your shit. You know, we don't want to drink with you. We don't want to, you know, not no real nigga, no real men. Let me say that. You know, this so more so than anything, you know, if he is able to get out on the street again, you know, he'll never go back to, he can never really just go back to the guy he was. You know what I'm saying? He definitely gonna be viewed and obscured through a different lens. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, for real. And just going back, like I said, I never been no nigga that I'm not gonna have no shit from 10 years ago ready to expose a nigga however you see it. It's certain age where, you know, it's like, I don't understand why you doing some of the things you doing. But, you know, everybody had their reasons. Maybe he was really, you know, traumatized and, you know, hopefully he can seek some counseling and some help for this shit. But, now y'all just jump in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about Diddy, Usher, potentially taking the stand. If he did, if he didn't, I don't know if that was real or not. But if he did, if he didn't, Rod Wave, do you think he blew his career? Did Rod Wave fuck up to the degree that his career over with? You know, jealousy, arguments, guns. It never go well. I mean, I can never be that mad to where I'm finna shoot at somebody, a woman for sure, 14 times. And no, people say never, but I can say I ain't finna do no bullshit like that. I like my freedom. Some people, you know, it should be so wild because you can tell when money put you in these positions and put these women around you that'll never be around you. So, you know, that in itself is I'm not saying it's his issue, but when that is taking place, that becomes like one of them self-confidence things. Shit of that nature. This be making me think was Bigger on some freak shit too. He definitely had some lyrics when you think about it. But you talking about the throw over the river, throw over that jump right there. Yeah, he done said some wild shit. He done said some wild shit before, man. You never really know, man, you know. And I remember a nigga trying to justify what bro was saying, but you really, y'all see how my shoes and shit on the floor back there. Let me see, y'all see how much. You really can't justify this shit, though. Yeah, you really can't justify this shit. I'm gonna get my shit up a little bit. See how my little shit on the floor, man. Like, I ain't having business, but you know, going through some shit. I was cleaning up and I got on live. So, like, don't judge. Please don't judge me. And I won't judge you. You know what I'm saying? However the rest of this shit go, that's what I'm saying. So, he said she looked so good. That what that man said? That man ain't say that. Let me tell you something. Man, listen. We out here, right? Biggie say this shit. He ain't got to come out the booth. Nigga finna go knock on the booth. Hey, what you say? You know, that's one of them judges though, real shit though, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I hope that ain't what he said. But you don't let a nigga, I don't give a fuck about all the metaphors and bars and punches. Mm. I thought it was another bar he said that they was questioning. But I'm gonna tell you something, that's gotta be the most diabolical bar in life. You know, that's a terrible metaphor. You know, that's a terrible metaphor. That make me not want to ever. I might have to take that Biggie picture down. I really got pain in my eye. I might have to take that Biggie picture down. I ain't do my research. Yeah, the nigga on my wall saying I like that though. I had the biggest shirt. If I had to burn that motherfucker, you know, I probably can't wear that motherfucker. Man saying shit like that. How do you even think of, you know? I'm trying to put the bars together like how you in there motherfucker and you know, like you feel like this just what it is, you know, this what what you going through. I don't even want to hear that, John. You wrong, Biggie. You wrong. You wrong. And on that note, man, I'm gone. I'm disappointed, Biggie Smile. I didn't know he said come around and saying shit like that, man. Hell nah. I'm out of here, man. Good night, man. Y'all jump in the comment section. Appreciate y'all coming through. Goddamn, yo. Poster gotta go down. Goddamn, big.